Good evening and welcome to the Vital Football Podcast, your podcast from the writers of the Vital Network. We have myself, who writes for Newcastle, I'm Marsch. We've got Liam, who's still munching his tea, and Crippy, who writes for Man City, but supports Aston Villa. And we have Andy, who writes for Leeds. How are we doing, gentlemen?
All good, mate, you?
Can I request my name be changed, please, Ash?
Sir,
To the Oracle.
the Oracle.
The Oracle.
Yes, the Oracle.
What are you feeling like? What's happening?
Well, what happened with the Manchester derby? That somebody called quite accurately, I think.
I think so. We're going to get onto that in literally a few seconds.
Oh, absolutely. Oracle, I'll be referred to now, please, boys. Thank you very much.
I just want to apologise because I might be slurring my words tonight. I'm not pissed. I am in agony. I wish I was pissed.
Might help.
Come on then, let's see what Crippy's banging on about. His Oracle bullshit. I mean, you and Andy both called Forest on penalties for the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
Good shout. I mean, nobody got the Southampton Man City thing.
Awful middle ground on Saturday, wasn't it? That wasn't good on my part. I had a lot of draws that didn't come in, but yeah.
I mean, I suppose, Oracle's fine. You did win.
Yeah.
I am not the Oracle. I'm living up to my one-eyed nature there with my absolutely shit foresight.
I mean, did anyone else predict that Brighton would score 3 past Liverpool?
Oh, ridiculous!
I didn't think. You got that.
Yeah, I didn't think Liverpool would win, so I was just too cowardly to go for a Brighton win.
Somebody had it on the Super Six, didn't they? Someone won the Super Six this weekend. They had Brighton to win 3-0.
There's always some psychopath, isn't there, that just calls it.
Crazy.
It's like that person who's like, "Oh, I won $5,000 on the bets." And it's like, yeah, let's see your total earnings, mate, over the 10 years. If you're putting on 50 quid on a crazy hacker like that, you must be down a lot of money, my friend.
Have you even broke even yet over a 10-year period?
Yeah.
Jack is in the house from the start.
Hello, Jack.
Tonight.
Good day, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Yeah, it's football got cancelled, that's why.
All right, I see. Which is second best. We're a consolation prize. Then let's kick off tonight with Crippy. You wanting to talk about Unai Emery's start at Aston Villa?
Yeah, it's been good, really good.
At least say good evening first, then. If you're going to do that.
It has been. It's been a very good one. Not the best one for Andy, of course, but to be fair, I will say Leeds probably should have buried some of their chances. It was a game where we just buried ours and they didn't. I don't think we deserved the win really, but we do look. We look more convincing under Unai, and I think the players are enjoying playing under him. Tyrone Mings spoke in depth about him, just talking about he was trying to be polite to Gerrard and say not necessarily better, but just different, and how in depth Unai goes with tactics and training. It's like, we know what you mean, Tyrone. You're saying he's better.
Is it more a case of he doesn't slip up as much?
He's more intricate with his style, yeah. And it's what you expect. Gerrard obviously is a coach, and he did a good job at Rangers, but there's levels to this, isn't there? Certain managers, and Unai is a proper football geek. Yeah, it doesn't always work at clubs he's been at, but he's a proper nerd in football, and he cares. He likes to micromanage and cares about every minute detail. Whereas Gerrard kind of let our boys just get on with it. He said, "Okay, here's how I want you to play, and you're free." But I'm really pleased with how it's been. I think we've picked up the most points since Unai came in, actually.
Yeah,
I think it's close to that. So yeah, no complaints.
Yeah, feeling that there's no longer that looming threat of being dragged into a relegation battle or anything like that.
No, that's the good thing. Now we can actually focus on trying to get a nice. Top half's a big ask, but I think if we can get maybe 10th, 11th, that's not bad.
Not wrong with 11th.
It's
a good sign of progress. The 11th.
Yeah, it's a start.
Speaking of teams that might survive, we've got a feeling the Forest are going to pull this off. Was that another one of yours, Crippy? Or?
Well, I used to cover them back in the day, so I even played football tonight with a guy who is a Forest fan, and I was saying to him it's really cool to see them doing a bit better now, because I covered them when Brennan Johnson and Ryan Yates were still fresh young players just trying to break into that team when they're in the Championship. So to see them now playing in the Premier League and being regular fixtures in that team is awesome. And seeing them now pick up results, and so I think most of us backed Forest to win at home as well. So we know that they've bucked their ideas up. And wouldn't that be amazing if they did stay up after the crazy summer they had signing? not taking over space for Liam's team, but yeah, it's. I think they've got as good a chance now. They're playing some great football. They look pretty decent.
Pulling off some decent results.
Yeah, they've got good attack.
Unexpected ones.
Was it
it does help when you buy like 22 players. So I mean, yeah, I've got that on there.
The thing though, isn't it? I mean, 22 players, and it's taken them half a season to gel.
Bed in, yeah.
But something's happening there. Obviously, you mentioned poor old Leeds there. What's going on, Andy? What is happening? What the actual fuck was Jesse Marsch talking about the other day?
I don't know, but honestly, from what I can gather today on Twitter, there's a lot of things going around saying he's got 2 games left, the Cup game and then Brentford on the weekend.
Is that 2-2?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. The thing is, we're all right going forward, and then it's either individual errors or a collective error, but it happens every single week. It's like Stroik was to blame for both goals, or had a hand in both goals against Villa. Like, you've got Bailey there, he's got the ball, you know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to cut it on his left and ping one. So why not show him outside? And he lets him do it. And then second half, it doesn't same again. He gets turned inside out, Bailey again. So we just give ourselves a mountain to climb every week, and it's just like, I don't know. Everyone's just saying we want a proper manager and not a motivational speaker, because that's what he seems to be. He's just.
It's that horse shit he came out with the other day. It didn't sound very motivational to me.
I know, but today as well, apparently, I haven't seen his press conference yet because I'm going to do it tonight and cover a story tomorrow, but apparently he's been having these little sly digs at Bielsa and stuff about the training and that again, and it's like, come on, mate. You know what I mean? You back up the wrong tree by starting that one.
Absolutely.
He's already had loads of Villa of last 10 minutes and we sort of looked like we was going to get back into it, and then we just went crap. We looked like we was going to get something, and then the last 10 minutes we was awful again. And then he went over to applaud the fans at the end, and they all give him what for. So you know what happens when the fans start turning. You know what's coming, don't you? Yeah. So, like I say, big week for him this week: the Cardiff game and then the Brentford game. So see what happens with that.
Well, it's all right though, as long as you play well. Points.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take defeats as long as we play well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack's back.
There he is.
He's back.
I'm surprised it took 8 minutes.
I know. That's the Tim
Cahill. I mean, he's not wrong as well. He's not wrong.
It is. That's the Tim Cahill era. That was Everton. Is bloody fantastic then. The Chang sponsored era.
Just on the thing of the Forest, like we was meant to play them when the Queen passed away, when there was shit. So then, now they turned the corner. We've got to play them in a couple of weeks, so you know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, they're going to be fired up last year.
Queen.
We were supposed to play Newcastle December 28th when they had no players because they were all injured or COVID or whatever the excuse was now.
They had COVID.
January came, they bought all the players. It was a different team we played.
I like Hassenhoff.
I mean, we still beat them.
Yeah,
bear in mind, but still.
Hasselhoff was his complaint as well. Twisted git.
Didn't Arsenal do that as well, or was it Liverpool? They were like, "Oh, we haven't got players fit."
I think a lot of teams were doing it. Like,
have you? Let's inspect. Let's see, shall we?
Which is pure, bullshit, basically.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Newcastle were at it again, actually, on the weekend, just toying with the rules when Bruno went down with his injury. He got back up and he tried to play on a little bit, and he was struggling. So Jason Tyndall called Nick Pope over and said, just in a couple of minutes, just go and have yourself a bit of a sit down. Say that you felt something. Yeah. So he had a bit of a sit down while Bruno got his ankle strapped. Because obviously you don't take the keeper off after they've had some on-field treatment. So.
Yeah.
Pure horseshit, but it's not against the rules.
Until they get that stop clock, they're going to keep doing it.
It's just depending on the rules. Yeah. But yeah, that was a bit dodgy, that one. But there was a lot of dodginess in that game, to be quite honest. I mean, we've got penalty madness here.
That was crazy, wasn't it?
That Mitrovic penalty. I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
I always thought if it happens, it was just a retake. Not a free
I
kick.
really take
Yeah.
too far because it has
I was
happened
expecting a
in the
retake.
past couple of years. I'm sure it has.
Yeah, I've seen to
I'm not
remember seeing it before,
sure.
but I can't work out who I can't remember who it was who did it.
No, I don't.
No,
I'm not sure I've ever seen it before, but
Because I remember when Thierry Henry did that thing with Perez, they tried to do that
Yeah.
stupid move. They just play on, don't they? You just do play. If you screw it up, you just play on. If it's like it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, because you knew the way the ball spun and the way the keeper dived. It was like, oh, hold on a minute, here.
Right.
Yeah,
but yeah, I was expecting a retake, obviously.
Sadly for him, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Poor bloke comes back, never scored past since he left. But never mind, I'm not complaining. And then we managed to scrape that win right at the end, thanks to Callum Wilson's tenacity.
I didn't watch that game, and then I see we was out, and I checked on my phone, and it said Mitrovic missed penalty, and I was like, oh, I've got him in my fantasy, and he missed the penalty. Then when I watched Match of the Day at night time and he scored it, I was like, hang on a minute. He said he missed a penalty.
It's very strange that they call it a miss. I know, but you can't really call it anything else, can you?
Yeah, missed penalty.
But they didn't get a goal, so it's got to be said as a miss. What was the other thing? There was something that happened in our match that I think happened in Everton's as well, but we'll come on to the Everton one when Liam's digested his McDonald's # not sponsored.
I've not barely touched it because I thought I can't start scoffing food on the stream.
Right at the end of the first half, there was a free kick right on the edge of the box, prime Trippier territory, and the ref moved the ball back about 10 yards instead of moving the wall back 10 yards. I don't know if he misinterpreted the rules or what, but put it out of Trippier's range, basically, and then he hit the wall anyway. The point is, why did he move the ball back? And I'm sure the same thing happened in the Everton match.
Well, as I sent you those two photos, it's two screenshots. So the foul literally happens on the edge of the box, and he's taking the free kick a good 8-7 yards away from the actual foul. And that's Pickford needs to be shooting for the actual free kick as well as Gordon, because he shouldn't be giving away stupid foul. But the foul wasn't in that position. And that's the difference of the ball going in the back of the net or hitting the wall or not getting up and down quick enough.
Moved it into prime Ward-Prowse territory.
It does happen a lot, doesn't it, really, with free kicks, that the ball doesn't go near the spot where the foul actually was committed.
Yeah.
You do see it a lot.
It's the referee, because he's sprayed his little, shaving cream and all that. He put it on the floor. It's like, because I remember at the time, I'm sure someone kicked off. I was like, well, it's not there.
Yeah.
And he's obviously just told him to get back in the wall. It's like, okay. And then I was like, well, I mean, they scored, but it's just.
But the liner should help out there as well, shouldn't they? The liner should go in line where the foul was, because the liner doesn't need to move. If it's a dead ball, they can then set where the foul is. The referee puts the ball there, and the liner can move when they've established that's where it is.
That means the referees have to do their jobs properly, doesn't it? Though?
Officials are getting lazier. They just expect VAR to do everything. Bail them out with every little problem.
When there's a free kick, are you allowed to move the ball backwards if you want to, but you're not allowed to move it forwards?
That would make sense. I'm not actually sure.
Because you're not getting any ground.
I've never been told by a ref to move the ball back where it was, but if I moved it back behind...
Because you're moving it back, you're sort of creating a distance for yourself to get it up and down, aren't you?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. If it's too close, can you move it back a bit?
I bet you'd get away with it more, if you tried to do it. You're not supposed to, but...
It's like throw-ins, isn't it? You get a throw-in and you see him walk 20 yards down the line, and then says get back, and they walk back 2 places and they walk another 10 yards again. And you think, Jesus Christ, you just made 30 yards there.
Yeah. I have seen with some...
couple more of those and you're in the car park.
If you do it too far back, the ref will say it's from here.
Get the lap off.
They don't let you do a short one, if you try and say, oh, I don't want to go too far up the pitch because there's no one actually there. So you try and do it in your half. I've seen the ref say, I have seen that.
So come on then, Liam. What's going on there, mate?
We backed you, Liam.
What is happening?
We backed them, didn't we? They let us down.
Football shite. Your fans have lost the plot. The board are making shit up.
Terror threats in their next game.
What's going on? Headlocks.
Well, I mean, please show me some proof of this headlock and these threats and all of the above. I want just one bit of proof. It's just absolute and utter lies. That's it. It's lies.
Them covering their ass, trying to make themselves look the victims.
Yeah,
so
it's planted.
This incident with a headlock happened against Brighton, which was 2 weeks ago. The police have come out today and said no report was filed. Not being funny, but if someone was assaulted or headlock at Goodison Park during a game and it was a chief exec, it'd be reported straight away. It'd be reported straight away. And you're telling me not one fan inside Goodison Park has gone, hang on, the phone up there. That'll go straight onto Twitter.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
saw videos of Anthony Gordon and LSM getting chased away. Within minutes, they're on Twitter. He's such a knob.
What's the matter?
It's ridiculous. But it's now the media have jumped on it and saying, instead of the peaceful protest, what actually it was, now it's Everton fans are a disgrace. I love Ian Wright. He's it looks like a lovely guy and all that, but he came out on Match of the Day and basically just slagged us off. He's come out today and apologised because he's realised what he said is, well, there's no truth behind it.
It's bullshit.
Do you think there's a Sky bias, Liam? Because Liverpool as a city gets a lot of grief, doesn't it, from the London-centric punditry and whatnot.
Anyway. I mean,
in northern clubs in general too.
But it happens all the time. So the Liverpool Echo, the local paper, when Liverpool fans wanted Gillette and Hicks out, the front page was "Get out of our club."
Mm.
We don't have that.
Mm.
Like it's a joke. Like Bill Kenwright's been there for 28 years or something like that, and he came out a couple of years ago saying we've had some good times. We've not had any good times. We won the FA Cup in '95 when you wasn't there. We've had an FA Cup final in 2009 and a couple of semi-finals and some European tours. That's about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He's riding off his Moyes appointment, isn't he, still, I think?
Yeah. He's a joke.
Yeah.
The thing is as well, if you don't know who Bill Kenwright is, he's a theatrical producer. This literally screams Bill Kenwright. It's one of his plays. Do you know what I mean? It's a joke.
Yeah. I just actually watched a reaction of a film today called The Fanatic, that John Travolta one that got absolutely
yeah.
That's a Bill Kenwright picture.
Is it actually?
I was watching that reaction today thinking this could be one for the pod for the a nice crossover. But yeah, Kev's saying that's more likely to happen, the headlock at Newcastle when they purchased at WWE, which I'd forgotten all about. A good show, Kev.
Yeah.
And is that a goat?
Yeah.
I don't think Bill
Kenwright's
a goat, is he?
No.
You know, after seeing those clips in The Fanatic.
Yeah, it's just so stupid though. But for some reason, like the media have jumped on it and have, instead of saying, "Hang on, is this true?" It's just automatically true. Do you know what I mean? Like there's all these journalists who haven't done one bit of actual fact finding. They just ran with it. And again, it's annoying because Everton fans are being portrayed as this angry mob that are putting women in headlocks and spitting at the cars and
I see the thing on Twitter with Mina was talking to the fans. Someone put disgraceful, all the crowd of people surrounded one person or whatever. And I watched the video and I was like, hang on a minute, they're just talking to him about stepping up and being a leader and geeing him up.
It's like he's a melt. He was like, I'll give my life for this club. Mate, you've played about 3 games in 3 years. Have a day off. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll give my life for this club. You get him released in 6 months. So he's got out. It's because he's got his wife and kid in the car. I mean, at least he's got out. But it's stupid how with all these threats, no security are watching the Everton players get out and make sure they're actually out and safe. You know what I mean? How is he allowed to just drive down Goodison Road when there's going to be 2,000-3,000 Everton fans or however many there is? Because I don't know. This was after the game, but they're all still going to be there. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
It reeks of just pure bullshit, really.
It does. And when it comes out, I can't wait for it because everyone will now see why they've been protesting for so many years about Bill Kenwright. I mean, Michele does have to answer some questions because he's in charge of the club, but it's like your Saudi owners buying Newcastle and Mike Ashley staying as chairman. It's unheard of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would not happen.
Such a strange situation they've managed to create for themselves.
Good times.
What's mad is though, Kenwright, it still divides opinion because I've seen people saying they want Kenwright out, and then I see a lot of backlash to that. they're like, no, it's like, it seems like he's kind of got an untouchable aura about him, that because, like I said, because he had the glory years of the mid 2000s.
That's what I mean.
The best
like,
years.
All
of
these
it,
people that are saying
yeah.
Bill Kenwright, he's probably paid them off. Like, Alan Stubbs came out and called him out on TalkSport and on BBC. Yeah, on Match of the Day with this Ian Wright thing. Leon Osman was sat next to him, just quiet as a mouse. I wonder why that is. Well, because he's still employed by the club in some regard. And who's there? Oh, Bill Kenwright.
It's an awkward position to be in, isn't it? Because obviously
awkward, but
he's an Everton fan and passionate about that club, and it's like, yeah, you don't want to bite the hand that's fed you.
Jack's having to go.
No.
Here, Andy.
No, he's definitely relegated. There you go.
He's included you in this, Andy. Mugging you right off.
I know.
Well,
for that, you know.
If we stay as well, we'll be lucky to get top 10.
Lampard, is he staying? Is he going? What's happening there?
I know I said at the very, very beginning of this podcast, because I think Andy said, is he the man? I was like, yeah. I think I jumped the gun a bit there, not gonna lie. But he is not good enough. At half time, we're 1-0 up, and he's told the team, this isn't a tactical battle. Sorry, what? Together. 50 seconds in, we go and concede. Well, that was a great team talk, that, Frank. Well done, mate. Do you know what I mean? And then the manager would have been sacked after those 2 Bournemouth games, just before the World Cup. Wasn't. Then he's got Wolves at home. We lose in stoppage time. He's then got Brighton. We get battered. Someone gets in a headlock. We draw at City. Did we lose again then? I can't remember. We got United, didn't we, in the FA Cup? And then we lost on the weekend to Southampton. But we played Leicester at home, who were bottom of the league, on bonfire night. They've won. We've played Brighton are very, very good. We've played Wolves, who were bottom 3 when they came to us, lost. Played Southampton, bottom of the league, lost. So, yeah. And you just need to be bottom of the league when we play us. And
that's the thing, isn't it? The fact that you can't beat the bottom teams, he's got to go.
Yeah.
And the most Everton thing to happen will be, because I know I've just seen them do it, West Ham to appoint Rafa Benitez, and they stay up.
I was just going to say, like, Jack Kenny says to bring back Rafa. I was just going to say, it's looking like he's going to West Ham.
Yeah.
And we'll probably get boys.
Yeah,
probably, yeah.
Because
I know an American manager, isn't it? I know an American manager you can have if you want him.
American manager thinks that.
It sounds a lot like Roberto Martinez.
God,
but does he also think that just a good performance is good enough and that'll keep you up?
Phenomenal. That's what he used to say all the time. Phenomenal.
It says to me that when you see a manager like that, he knows that the confidence of his squad is that brittle. He just can't afford to heap any pressure on them. Because if he's honest, he'll have a mess to deal with in the dressing room.
Well, that's one thing Lampard did last year. I think was it Palace in the FA Cup or someone. And he was like, these players aren't good enough, they're not strong enough. Like the character, he just threw them all under the bus. And the media started giving him like flack for it. It's like, oh no, he's called them out. They're not good enough. If they were good enough, we wouldn't be in a relegation battle.
We're the same. Just the defence is awful, but we persist with them.
Well, my biggest issue, and I was saying to Jack at work, was like, no disrespect to Fulham, Brighton, Brentford, but player for player, our spine should not be anywhere near it is. England's number 1, whether or not you like him, he's still England's number 1.
Yeah.
Tarkowski, Cody, Godfrey, 3 very, very good centre backs. Address a guy in a game. I mean, he is past it now, but he still does a job. And Calvert-Lewin, I do sound like a Newcastle fan 2 years ago.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
The issue is this has been going on for, like I said, a long time now. But it's that span of the team is too good to be. I'm not saying it's too good to go down, rather, because evidently we're not good enough. But that spine should be better than it is, and that's why I think any actual manager who's got a tactical nous will do something with it.
Would you say, Liam, that Everton in the last few years or so, they've gradually just declined, but bit by bit, player by player, they've not replaced with better. They brought in, and it hasn't been better than what was sold. Because I look at the squad now, and I don't think it's as good a squad as it should be. Because that's what happened to Villa. We had a decent enough squad that would be meandering around mid-table-ish, but we just gradually lost the ones that had a little bit of talent about them and brought in ones that were weaker. So as a whole team, we would gradually, it's almost like asset stripping in a way, where we're just getting rid of anything good about our squad and then just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And now Everton find themselves with that, where there's only, again, you know the squad better than I do, but it feels like there's half the squad you would say are out and out talented players, where the rest are sort of more mid-level kind of talent. Not, that's why I feel like
under Moyes, any good player that we had, we knew we were going to lose.
Yeah,
but he went out and signed the likes of Kale, Arteta, Pienaar,
sharp scouting.
Do you get what I mean? Like what Brighton do, or Southampton did. Like they'd lose their big players, but they go and buy Sadio Mane and then sell them on for 30 odd mil. They go and buy Lovren, even though he's not that good. Like, but do you get what I mean? It's those type of things. Last season, Richarlison kept us up.
Yeah.
Same as us. Rafinha kept us up. It's the same.
Yeah.
If it weren't for them two players, we'd been gone.
Benteke was Aston Villa's go-to for that one season we had.
McNeil and Mopey, I still stand by. They weren't Lampard's options for me.
They were bottom of that.
All summer we wanted Mohamed Kudus, and it was done until United went and signed Anthony. So it's
when you signed El Ghazi, Liam, that sort of said it to me that I don't think this board know what they're doing, because El Ghazi wasn't good enough for Villa.
Yeah, well, that one. Who's his agent? Is it that Gia something?
Oh, what, from George Mendes? The Gestititude, whatever it is.
I don't know what his name is, but he's some big agent, and he's good mates with Kenray.
Okay.
But he's the reason why El Ghazi came in.
Such a stupid deal. It made no sense before like he was bad. Yeah.
I thought that we'd actually started to do something. I mean, Real Madrid come knocking to Ancelotti. He's not going to say no, is he?
No.
Madrid or Formby. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of them. So that was a big kick in the teeth, because no one had planned for that. And all we have to do is look at Ancelotti. 2 years ago on Boxing Day, we were second in the league. 2 years later, we're second bottom. And there's only Richarlison that's missing from that team. It's ridiculous.
That is mad.
Do you think it's just personnel then, or do you think it's system?
A bit of everything. Like, the players need to start taking accountability, because you can only point the finger at the manager so much. But when Anthony Gordon gives the ball away on the edge of their box, sprints all the way back and just goes, "Oh, hi James Ward-Prowse, I'll just run into you and give you a free kick on the edge of the box." Are you stupid?
Yeah.
It's just give him a free shot to goal
in the game.
That's what I mean. Like, it's like, Stoke. Whenever you used to play against Stoke with Rory Delap, you wouldn't put it out for a throw-in. You'd put it out for a corner instead.
Oh God, that
is
amazing.
It's things like that.
Yeah.
Like, you play the game. You know what their strengths are. And you know not to give James Ward-Prowse a free kick 20 yards out from goal.
Yeah.
But again, Pickford, questions need to be asked about that, because it wasn't in the corner.
Maybe should have.
He stands in the middle of his goal. It's just stupid, because it looks like he was trying to kick off at Mikalenko, because he tries to run back and then it's too late. So he can't stand on the post from the goal from the free kick, because then the striker will stand in front of the keeper. So he's offside. Well, he's not offside. But then as soon as he's running to kick the ball, sprint back. Or Pickford, do your job. It's not that hard.
Move.
Yeah, move.
We're in the same boat, because people are arguing whether it's personnel or system, but I think it's a bit of both, because going forward, our squad's all right. We should not be where we are going forward. But we're 3 minutes in against Villa, and we've got every single player in and around their box on our corner. And we don't win the corner, and you just know what's coming straight away. So you think, how are you leaving the basically 60 yards of the pitch with no one in it? Just leave one defender back at least.
Yeah.
And 3 minutes to 1-0 down, it's uphill again.
Outswinging corners, I hate them, because you set up for the counter-attack straight away.
Yeah.
And when you got everyone forward, apart from, say, Seamus Coleman, who isn't fast on the halfway line, and someone else who isn't fast, it's just, sound okay. Just give him a goal instead.
Yeah.
But, rant over.
Well, have a breather. Let's move on to our favourite subject, VAR.
Ridiculous.
Oh, this was absolutely ridiculous.
Absolute bullshit. Obviously, we've all seen it, because we all know what we're talking about. But Fernandez's goal is allowed to stand because of Rashford. wasn't interfering with play. How was he not interfering?
Runs to the ball as well. If he put his hands up and turned his back to the play, kind of thing, you'd say, okay, he's not made an effort to go for the ball and distract, but he's literally run to the ball and then he's gone, oh wait, no, I won't do it. You have to put the flag up. That's unreal.
His shoelace could have been touching that ball.
I know.
Fernandez struck it. That's how close he was.
Unreal decision. That
the fact that he
if you look
blocked
at
the defender
positions,
from making a clear run.
The positions, Ederson's come out to claim the ball, and the Kanji just stops, doesn't he, and just lets him run free. You think, oh, he's offside, wait for the flag, and it's like, they're getting it's ridiculous.
Well, my biggest issue there is, what if a Kanji snaps Rashford's leg?
Yeah.
That's Pickford Van Dijk all over again. Well, he was offside, so it didn't matter. Well, put your flag up.
Yeah,
I mean, that's completely different because Rashford has got a good 10 yards offside. Put your flag up. And the same happened in the Liverpool game against Brighton. The ball pings out to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he puts his arms up and goes, I'm letting it go out for a throw-in. The referee puts his flag up and goes, you're offside. It's like, I didn't touch the ball. It's going out for a throw.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't stand them, but it's ridiculous. Like, he's actually gone, I'm not interfering with the play. I'm letting
Exactly. That's why you put your hands up. It's a signal to the referee, the linesman.
It's just a lottery from what referee and officials you get. You never know. It's just one plays a rule one week, and then the same referee just don't play the same rule the week after. You're like, what?
Well, I'd be telling if this is if I was managing the Premier League now, I would say, right, let's test out this theory then. You just stand offside, 10 yards offside. We're going to play a ball in behind, and we'll see what we can get away with, and then we'll see if they actually abide by the law or not.
Yeah,
because even the pundits were trying to argue that it wasn't interfering, wasn't they? Did you hear that? The pundits were like, "Oh, not interfering." It's like, you guys are insane. I just couldn't believe it.
He got shout. Yeah, he did.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. There was so many things were wrong with it, and then obviously, Man United superfan Howard Webb chipped in. Absolutely fine. Not a problem.
He's still on the payroll. There he is.
Oh, without a doubt. He's Man United's Bill Kenwright, I think.
Well, he's on the. Is it the PGMOL?
Yeah.
That's what they said after the game. PGMOL, Howard Webb. I was like, there we go.
That's
all we need to hear. Howard Webb.
Yep.
Just need to get Ryan Babel to put another tweet out with Howard Webb in the United shirt.
Yeah.
United's 12th man.
Imagine Haaland did that.
So speaking of Man United, Crippy, you've got them. Could Man United be in the title race? We sort of touched on it last week that if Newcastle are counted in the title race, Man United have to be, and vice versa. Not according to Bet365 though, who put out a poll today saying which of these teams you think are going to win the league, and they put Man City, Arsenal, and Man United. Just totally skipping over the fact that Newcastle are in the middle of Man United and Man City. But they're on the same points as Newcastle, so they have to be in the conversation.
Oh, definitely.
And now, obviously, Howard Webb's back in PGMOL. So what was on your McDonald's order there, and Liam? Everyone's
other fast food outlets available.
Yeah.
Hashtag I'm loving it. Hashtag not sponsored.
I actually ordered too much, and I've still not even finished my actual meal yet. I got some chicken selects. I got two double burgers, chocolate milkshake, and so I needed to get the price up. And some donuts as well, so I'll have them tomorrow. I would kill
for that milkshake. Just put it on the side of my face in a minute. I don't want to drink it. I just need the cold. So Man United, do you think they've got the legs, or do you think this is a purple patch? How's it going to go for them?
If they keep getting decisions like that, then they will.
That's the thing, that they're starting to become Man United of old.
I don't think they'll sustain it. I don't think they will.
I mean, if they beat Arsenal, because Arsenal got Eddie Nketiah's stepped up a little bit, but we said at the start, if Arsenal get a couple of injuries, if they lose Odegaard, because he's
blinder.
But if they lose him, I don't know where Smith Rowe's good, but is he going to be that good? So I just feel like United, it's United, isn't it? You can never write them off, even though we all laugh at them when they're terrible. But it'd just be peak United to go out and just you know what? I see here 8 points. We'll catch it up.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Arsenal are having a hell of a season, but like you say, they're just a couple of injuries away from being mediocre again. Well, not like the high end of mediocre, obviously. Calling them mediocre, right slap in the face, I think.
But on that though, as well, if I'm Newcastle, if I'm Eddie Howe, I'm going to Bruno Guimaraes, however you want to say it, and go, right, Bruno, who do you want in midfield next to you, and who do you want on those wings? Because no disrespect to Joelinton, he's not your answer. No disrespect to Almiron, he's not the answer. And your left wing, well, who is it? Joe? Is it Joe Willock or
Joe Willock's like in that? Yeah, he plays down the middle.
But he plays. Yeah,
left.
it's weird. So this is a chance for you. You've got 1 foot in the top 4. Instead of finishing 4th, why don't you just try and get second or third? You've got automatic Champions League then.
I think this is deliberate that we don't want to hit Champions League yet, because we need. If we hit Champions League, we're going to need about 6 players in January.
Yeah.
In the summer. It's too much too soon for us. Europa, we can just about handle with 2 or 3 more additions.
Well, the thing is, if you finish Champions League just for that money alone, then you will drop down into the. Actually, I don't know if you will, because it's the new format next season, isn't it? It's the
next
league.
Season or season after?
I think it was next. I thought it was next season. Either way, I don't know if you're going to if it drops down into the Europa League or not. But still, it's European football, and that pull will go to anyone and be like, you know what? They've done that in a year.
Yeah,
literally a year. So money talks at the end of the day. And if, like I said, if I'm Eddie Howe, I'm going, listen, this is a chance we can't miss out on. In my opinion, anyway. But
no, I'm with you 100%.
If you don't want top 4, then don't take it. That's fine.
No, I'm with you.
We'll all laugh at you instead.
It's just obviously a case of it's going to cost us a lot to compete if we want to compete. But like
it feels like that top 4's pulling away, Ash.
Money comes anyway.
Like you're Man United are 4th, and they're 5 points clear of Tottenham, and they have a game in hand. And obviously Newcastle have played 1 more, but they're the same distance from Tottenham. And it feels like that top 4 are almost pulling away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah.
Newcastle keep winning games, Man United keep winning games, so you might get there earlier than you planned to, but just because no one else can buck their ideas up. Chelsea, Liverpool, 9 and 10th. Tottenham are the only team you'd expect to sustain an actual push for Europe, because you don't think Fulham or Brighton will be able to sustain it.
No.
So it might be the best year to do it. As we said before, I think the big 6 are normally occupy the top 6 places, but you've got a chance here where 2 of those teams are bottling it massively. So
massively, yeah. It's like £500 million spent.
I know. Unreal.
Injuries the course of the season. Didn't think we'd be challenging for the league, if I'm honest. Should be getting top 4 minimum.
Excuses.
Yeah, just admit it.
Ninth in the table. 9th in the table.
Liverpool are 9th, are they?
Liverpool are 9th in the table, yeah. They're 1 place above Chelsea.
Should have heard Jack at work today on his break. He was like, if we don't finish in the top 10, if we don't finish top 4, I want Jurgen Klopp out. He's like, I hate that German fraud.
That'd be rash. That'd be very rash.
Kev's saying Newcastle don't have the revenue stream to keep spending big thanks to the pitiful deals Mike Ashley signed off on. Yeah, like our sleeve sponsor is worth more than our shirt sponsor.
Like, you know what?
Yeah,
you can get this on
exactly
Tuesday, Wednesday night, week in, week out.
We've got the idea of getting the more money from getting in the Champions League. We're working on a lot of sponsorships in the background. I think we're about ready to pull the plug on Pastore and get Adidas in. So yeah, there's a lot of commercial deals that'll bulk up what we can get away with FFP, and then we can probably do it. We could probably compete. Oh.
According to Twitter, it said Arsenal were after Almiron. I read earlier.
Really?
Yeah, is it Ekrem bloke? He put it up.
Oh yeah,
that Turkish fella.
Yeah. He's suspect. So
yeah. He's quite a sensationalist. We've still got a couple more points on the list here. Ding, 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 ding. Arsenal for the PL title. Yeah, we've got that.
All right, Crazy Frog. Yeah.
That's a bit crazy froggish, wasn't it?
It was.
I think these weird drugs are kicking in.
That's nothing to do with you too, right now.
Yeah, do we think Arsenal are going to win the title, by the way?
It's theirs to lose.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm backing them. Yeah, I think they're playing really well, and obviously they've got the Marsch. Man City keep dropping points.
Well, Pep's already written it off, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps. But he's a weird guy, though, isn't he?
That was the other thing on the list.
So,
I still
so
can't
the
see
match
it.
today, of course, he still cares. He doesn't want
Of
to just
course,
chuck it all the way.
he's like a child, though, isn't he? He's like, oh, I didn't want it anyway.
Yeah.
He's like David Brent getting sacked. Oh, I didn't want the job anyway. It's like, mate, come on, we know you're lying.
Taking me ball.
Yeah, I bought that from Halfords. He's just so petty, isn't he?
So one of you has snuck on. Could Guardiola and Klopp move at the end of this?
Oh, there. That was me. Yeah. No sack talk, but more so just
Time for
with
something
Liverpool. Yeah, it's Liverpool are probably coming to the end of an era now, aren't they? Where it's mentally exhausting to get through another transitional period as a manager, and Klopp's been there for a long time. And I think if he thinks in his head, oh, this team are a couple of years away now from challenging again, he might think maybe it's time for me to move on, keep my reputation intact, and go somewhere. And with Pep as well, you never know what Pep's really going to do, because he says he wants to stay at Man City for all his life, but he's also a really sore loser, isn't he? And he'll scuttle off when they don't win a title. That's kind of what he's done in the past. He did it with
He
Barca.
wants to live in Manchester for the rest of the life.
So
I said the same to Kat before about Klopp, and then I also said, I'm pretty sure in the last year or so he signed a new contract, and he did last April. He signed a contract extension till 2026. Because it was due to expire next year. So he's got another 3 years, and obviously Pep signed one.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of months ago, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a long deal. But they'll never be sacked. They'll leave on their own terms. It just depends on if they want to leave while their legacy's pretty much intact, or if they feel the challenge ahead is too much.
Hasn't he? He does a couple of years, does well, and then falls off slowly.
Well, he'll be a god with Liverpool fans, won't he? Yeah, it's hard to German national team. Who knows? But it's hard, isn't it? Because like I said, Liverpool's situation is worse than Man City's, because City's worst day is still them challenging but just tailing off, whereas Liverpool look an absolute mess, don't they? And they're going to need some significant recruitment probably to turn things around. Yeah, there are some injuries, but
also
significant recruitment. How much they spend on leaders?
Well, they sold Mane, and it's like you sold one of the best players you've ever had, and you didn't think to replace him with anything
instead.
I think with Liverpool, if they'd have invested and got a couple of midfielders, I don't think they'd be where they are now, though. I think they'd still be in the top six easy if they'd got a couple of midfielders in.
It should be.
On that argument, though, I was thinking the same. But then, all you do is look at Real Madrid, Modric and Kroos and Casemiro in midfield, and they've
there is that, yeah.
So it's one of them. Like they've got the ability. It's whether or not they're using it to their own strength. Like we know Milner's got the brain. He doesn't have the legs anymore. He can run around for 90 minutes, but he doesn't have that pace. But put yourself in a position not to get caught out. And well, Thiago likes a little Thiago turn every now and again, but don't do it in the edge of your box, mate. Don't.
Yeah.
But also, you partner him with someone who can do the defensive work, isn't it, as well? So he can be a bit more of a luxury player. Yeah. All they've got what's it? Henderson, Ox. I mean, the Ox hasn't had much of a Liverpool career, has he? He spent so much of it injured.
Genuinely forgot he was there until I saw his name.
Yeah.
Henderson the other night, all he did was just boot it forward every time he got the ball. Like watching one of our midfielders.
It's like watching England all over again, right?
Yeah.
Actually, a fair shout from Jack saying they did replace Mane with Diaz. Diaz is decent, but like you said, he's injured all the time. So.
Well, they're crying out for a midfielder to go and get Gakpo. I don't understand it.
Yeah. They did at Chelsea, getting that Mudryk guy
last
position in Eagles.
Couldn't get him.
Yeah, it was. That was old school Chelsea. That's like Abramovich Chelsea.
Yeah.
That behaviour, just signing them just so no one
hoarding all the toys.
Amazing.
It's a bit suspicious that though with the Mudryk one. Like definitely politics in there. He'd had his heart set on Arsenal all January.
Yeah,
that was
on his Instagram saying wherever it was, and now all of a sudden he's at Chelsea. He's like Aaron Lennon all over again when he came to us on loan with his
grumpy face. Amazing.
I forgot about that Aaron Lennon one. Yeah. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
The best thing about that, when we did sign him in the summer, he made a point of every shirt, every photo, he was like grinning.
Caught out, you little twat. I've got another question that's not on the list. Are Newcastle going to win the Carabao Cup?
No.
Put a Kevin Keegan picture up. and I'll say the
Yeah,
thing.
put it up. Let's have it.
Hang on.
Hashtag frisky.
Yeah.
In fact, delete hashtag frisky. There were too many fixtures. So here he is.
I would love it. I would love it if they'd win it.
One of the best interviews ever, that wasn't it?
That's fantastic. Absolutely.
They've got the best chance they've got. Sadly, United are in form, so it's a bloody if they can get
That's
to
the
the
worry.
final. Yeah,
I reckon that's what it'll be. United.
Yeah, whoever wins that will win it, I think.
yeah.
I think whoever wins the final will probably.
Might win it.
I'm actually nervous about Southampton because the only
I'd
like, the
love
saving
it.
grace is
I'd love it if it was Southampton Forest in the final.
that would be
And
mega.
then you just take the eye off the ball and then drop into the relegation.
As long as Forest
Either of
win.
them win it. It's switch all over again. Wigan, isn't it? In Europe, but
Yeah.
in Division 1.
Yeah.
Ah, thanks, Jack. I always liked you, mate. Jack's back.
I wasn't saying that before.
The thing is, there is when you play at Wembley in a final, the big teams always have the edge just because they're used to those occasions, aren't they?
That's exactly what my reservation is. I think we will
Yeah.
overcome
But
Southampton.
Newcastle are a big
Too late.
team, though.
But they haven't been in a final in so long,
Look-
have they?
Look at his fucking
I know,
face.
no, I know. It's just a different. Because even Man City had that period, didn't they, where they were, expected so much was expected of them, but they just couldn't get over that line until they won something, and it changed the dynamic of the squad.
We
And
have
that
the
was
days
terrible
and form
as
of
well.
bottling at Wembley.
Mm.
We're crap in finals. We just go a bit, but it's an entirely different setup, different team, different manager, different owner, different everything. So
Yeah,
hopefully we can put all that behind us. And, but like I said, we've got to get there first. And I know it's a
Yeah.
two-leg thing with Southampton, so we should demolish them at home.
Oh, it betters your chances because you could have one dodgy game and then you can put it right the next time round. So over 2 legs,
Yeah.
I would be stunned if Newcastle didn't breeze through that.
But yeah,
But your first leg's away at Southampton as well, so I think that's
exactly.
in
We
your
get
That's
shit
what you
out
want.
there,
Yeah, exactly.
but we'll see.
Did
Shall we
you-
move on to
next-
some
yeah.
score predictions?
Just don't give any free kicks away around the box.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Oh,
He's
Anthony
going to do the back
Gordon.
10 yards anyway. So
He shoots from where he wants. Right, score predictions. We'll kick off with tomorrow night. Palace versus Man United. Crippy, you can kick us off on this one, mate.
Yeah, I think United will edge it. Palace aren't terrible, but they've been losing lately, so I'd say 2-1 United.
That's exactly what I've got, yeah. Andy, what have you got, mate?
I went 3-1 United.
Going a bit bigger. Liam?
I'm going 2-1 and you.
I think that's a general consensus on that one.
Yeah.
Apart from Andy with feeling a bit more hashtag frisky.
A bit frisky, yeah.
I've thrown this one in. We've got a nice little replay tomorrow. Leeds versus Cardiff. We've thrown it in because of Andy. So you might as well kick us off with it, mate. How's it going?
We're going to win 3-0.
That's exactly what I've got. I've got the confidence in you.
4-0.
You've gone 4.
Bamford
Bloody hell.
double.
2-0 because I'm a coward.
All Weetabix Shins is back.
Oh, well, no one's got Cardiff scoring, so.
Yeah, you watch. They'll beat us 4-0 now.
Man City versus Spurs. Liam, what have you got?
Spurs are so bad. That's the type of game that they go and win.
Yeah.
It is. It's that Spurs.
Like in Europe,
all
wasn't it?
over.
Just
And
like in
it's
Europe
City.
when they win the Champions League. Makes no
Yeah.
sense for them to win it, but they did.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 Spurs.
Bloody
Wow.
hell, Liam.
Wow.
Well, let's bring it
Brentford
down
did
a
it, I
notch with
suppose.
Captain Conservative. Grippy, what you got?
Yeah. Yeah, obviously I covered them and they've been pretty bad lately, but I think they'll win at home. I think 2-1.
Andy?
I've gone 3-1 City.
Ooh.
Spurs are
It
just
does
crap.
depend if Haaland's
They're
wearing his
awful.
dress, though.
Yeah.
Like,
If he's wearing them shit flickers, Alan's getting after it.
I wish I'd saved them pictures to put them up there so people knew what we were talking about. I've gone 1-1. I'm taking over Crippy with the diplomacy.
If you look up the most played out outcomes, it's 1-0, 1-1, and 2-1. So statistically, I'm a winning predictor over the long term.
I know you do
Long
research.
I play the long game.
Such a Mark Lawrenson thing to do.
Jack
I've met Laura.
Ladd versus Chelsea. Oh, I bet that was fun.
He's a nice guy. Nice guy. Pleasant.
Yeah.
Human being. Gentleman.
Listen, gentlemen.
Pleasant gentleman.
Better than
Very
Sam
humble actually as
Collymore,
well. Well, I said I checked your predictions, and he was like, "Oh, don't take my advice, mate." So he was humble. I appreciate that. Humble Mark Lawrenson.
I'll give him that.
I'll give him that.
Speaking of Battle of Wembley, am I right in saying Villa did that in the playoff final? He's coming after everyone.
Yeah, and then what happened the season after? Villa nailed it, and they got up there. So Tom Kearney, go away. Was it Tom Kearney? I think it was. Yeah, good player.
Jack's had a Baileys.
Yeah.
And he's on one.
It's weird because he's
Actually,
just
I mentioned-
not gone for you yet.
He's scared of Ash.
Scared of me. I'm too big.
Scared. He knows he'll kick him off the show completely.
Before we get on Liverpool versus Chelsea, I mentioned Stan Collymore, Crippy's favourite person in football.
Oh Lord.
Oh God.
He's a fucking bell whip, isn't he?
Like
Absolutely.
I'd say, objectively across the board, nobody likes Samura's opinions today.
So what has he actually said? Because I saw the
He said that even if Newcastle finish top 4 this season, Eddie Howe will get the sack and they'll bring in someone better. Why?
They won't. They won't.
Why
will
would
they?
they
They
do
don't
that?
do that. They don't do
And
that.
Andy Cole doubled down on it. He can fuck off and no. But like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I know.
They just need
I
to
mean-
get him on TalkSport just to round it off.
That's why they don't.
Fucking Agbonlahor just talking shit
Yeah.
at each other.
You might as well ask Richard Keys what he thinks. He wants a
Jeez,
dumbass
people.
opinion.
Yeah, fuck
Jeez.
Richard Keys as well.
Plum.
Right.
Absolute plum.
Here's your chance, lads, to get back at Jack, who's been poking at you all night. Liam, Liverpool, Chelsea.
they've rested a lot of players tonight. They've rested a lot. Like I'm just looking at the team now. Kate is playing. How much did they spend on him? 50 bill? 60?
64
Not
million.
spent any money on midfielders though.
Wow.
Just want to throw that one out. Anyway, yeah. Liverpool, Chelsea. Yeah, Liverpool 2-1.
Yeah, snap.
Liverpool 2-1. Yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
no
Andy,
way.
Andy, what
Yeah.
have you got?
I went for a draw. I went 2-2.
Take that.
I've gone with the Chelsea win. I think Mudrick double.
Ooh, it's a big step.
2-0. I see, I'm the one who goes after Jack, and he said no.
I what do you guys think about Potter then? I don't want to take away from your predictions, but I don't think his face fits there. I don't think he's a bad
No.
manager, but
Definitely
The
not now.
culture's
We look
right.
fucked.
I know, yeah.
I know.
His first week he went there with his new hairdo and his trim beard.
I know he was looking
That
great,
was
looking
like-
all sexy. Yeah, it's the culture, though, isn't
Harry
it?
Grant.
Just certain managers, it just eats them up. That kind of job, doesn't it?
He just hasn't got his best 11 yet. He hasn't worked out what the hell he's doing.
No, he wanted
He's
to
got
bring his
33
style to
players
Chelsea,
choose from,
but
that's why.
Chelsea always bring their style to any new manager that comes in, don't they? They always have their way of playing. They have the big personalities who just lead it, and then
He's still got to buy his best 11 in the next couple of weeks.
Do you think he'll see the season out?
I think he will, purely because
Yeah.
it's Todd Bowley's first pick
Yeah,
as manager, and he's going to have to
Yeah.
be seen to give him some space.
What if they finish 9th or where they are though? If they finish around that place, around 8th, 9th.
I know.
Oh, he'll be gone. I mean, he'll last the season, but he'll be kicked.
Yeah,
Bournemouth versus Forest. This could be an interesting
ooh,
one.
yeah,
Ready?
yeah. I'll go 1-1.
Yeah.
I'll go 1-1 now. Yeah, 1-1. Forest are obviously better form right now, but it's away from home. I think they'll nickel and dime it, take a point.
It's a very sturdy fence you sit on there, mate. I must say.
I'm never right as well. I don't know why I bother trying to be, because I'm always wrong when I get a draw.
I've gone for Forest 1-0.
I'm backing them 2-0. Liam, what are you doing, mate?
Yeah, Forest 2-1.
2-1. Potter a little out of his depth. I'm not
Yeah.
sure the owners will help him matters. I would not like to try and keep the star player happy. Yeah, that's the problem. It's egos. And he doesn't look like the kind of person who commands people with big egos.
That's what Ancelotti does the best.
I read something earlier as well and said they would listen to offers for Sterling. But he just bought him.
I saw that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wrote about it at the time when he left. I was like, yeah, wrong decision. Yeah,
He'll be back.
Guardiola's a nutter, and he'll call you up at 3 a.m, and he's very annoying, and you hate being rotated. But we're now being rotated at Chelsea, who are in mid-table, and you're not going to win a title for a long time. So yeah, well played, sir.
Bit of a mistake.
Oh dear.
Leicester, Brighton, Andy.
Ooh.
I've gone for Brighton 2-1.
Ooh.
Nice. Lord of the Fence, it's yours.
Yeah, I think on form, Brighton 2-1.
Everyone going Brighton. Andy, you going Brighton?
Yeah, 2-1 Brighton, yeah.
Sorry, I meant Liam. Drugs.
I know we look the same, but yeah, I'll go 2-1. just
Very
for the
similar,
crack,
I've gone big again. I've gone 3-0 Brighton.
Yeah.
I did this before the drugs as well. So.
Leicester have lost 4 on the bounce. They're in trouble.
Leicester are horse shit. It's just given up.
I know, it's sad.
Southampton and Villa. Crippy, how are you lads going to get on this one?
I'll go 3-1 Villa.
Wow, he's going big. He's going
That's
big.
hashtag frisky.
Fucking fence is wobbling. Liam, what's your thoughts?
What did you go then?
I went 3-1 Villa.
Are you all right?
We're good. We're good as well. We're good at the moment.
Something in his hashtag T.
Southampton win.
Oh, for God's sake.
What?
3 on the bounce. They beat City. They beat us.
Uh,
Gonna be Villa.
True.
Well,
True.
yeah, no offense, Liam, but beating Everton, it's not.
Knives are out. The knives.
We've won 3 games all
I
season.
thought we were friends.
He's always predicting Villa to lose, and I backed Everton last week, so that's it. The gloves are off now, Liam. I'm sick to death of it.
All right. I think I'll sack next.
Andy, what have you got, man?
I went for Villa
Careful.
to win 1-0. I went for a boring 1-0 Villa.
Yeah.
So did I.
You changed
So
that.
did
That
I.
was 1-0 Southampton before. Shows you
Get it written down.
Good man.
Yeah, Andrew remembers the clip from last week with fucking Crippy pulling in and stepping up for everyone. Wait!
He's like Warnock, couldn't he give it the one?
Yeah.
West Ham versus Everton. Do you want to go first or last, Liam?
You could have put El Sakiko instead, couldn't you?
David Moyes derby.
It's a beaut, isn't it? JWP free kick 1-0. I mean, yeah. He's not wrong. How then, Liam? How's El Sakiko going to go?
We're either going to lose. So, I'm going to say all 3 outcomes here. It's going to be 0-0. We're going to lose or we're going to win. But it doesn't mean...
You've really boiled the essence of the prediction right down to its core there.
I really think it's going to be 0-0, but I've got to back my team, so I'm going to go 2-1 Everton.
Fair dues. I've got 0-0, if that makes sense anyway.
Yeah, sure.
I went 1-1.
Yeah, same. Neither team can score, can they? So I can't.
So you've got 0-0 or 1-0?
Me 1-1. Or Sandy gone?
I went 1-1, yeah, as well.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, another week where they just managed to scrape their jobs.
Yes.
Palace versus Newcastle. I'll kick us off. I've got Newcastle winning, obviously, but just by 1-0. Fancying another clean sheet.
Oh.
Liam?
Sorry, I was looking at the comments. So Everton scores. We'll probably score the own goal to make it 2-1. So we'll probably score 3.
Channeling the leg grade, Sir Bobby Robson. Yeah. With your diplomacy. I'll either win, lose, or draw. Palace, Newcastle.
Newcastle got a 2-1 Newcastle.
2-1. You think
I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to go 2-2 instead.
Oh.
I went 2-1. I went 2-1 Newcastle.
You're thinking that the clean streak is going to come to an end.
I think
I like Eze and Elise.
Yeah,
exactly. Eze and Elise are just ballers.
Yeah.
But if Palace rest players tomorrow, it's one of them. Are they going to rest players? And I think that'll be the difference.
Yeah,
True.
2 games in 3 days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit much. Leeds versus Brentford, Andy.
Please don't. giving me heartburn just thinking about it. I'm going to go 1-0. We'll probably get hammered about 8-0 though, but I'll go 1-0.
The
That's
stats won't be
confidence.
kind, but you might sneak something.
Crippy, what's your thoughts?
New signing should be playing, so we'll see what he gives it.
Who, Rutter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't believe it's not Rutter.
Sorry, Crippy, what's yours prediction?
Yeah, same as Andy, 1-1.
Liam?
2-1 Brentford.
That's what I've got.
It's what I want.
I was tempted.
I need other teams to lose.
Yeah,
Sorry,
of course.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go against Andy, but
Personal.
Yeah.
That's the way it is, isn't it?
Much.
Man City versus Wolves. Resident Man City expert, Crippy, kick us off.
We'll go 3-1 City.
Exactly what
Liam?
I've got. I've got 3-1 City.
Liam?
Can't see Wolves scoring. 4-0 City.
Wolves will go 1-0 up in the first 10 minutes.
That's the thing. City are weirdly bad at the moment, so Wolves could score first, but then they get dominated after.
I've also got 3-1 City.
Mm.
Arsenal Man U, this is a big one.
Yeah, it's great fun.
Big one. I'll kick us off. I've got 2-1 in favour of Arsenal. Crippy, what you got?
I'll go 2 in Arsenal. I think a lot of people might say a draw, but I'll back Arsenal to win at home.
Andy?
I've gone 2-2.
Ooh, just borrowed Crippy's fence.
I'm going 2-1 United.
Oh, he's gone the other way. Interesting.
Ooh.
Any one of us could be right or just completely wrong. It's going to be
Liam thinks this is Man United of the early 2000s. These games used to be classic, didn't they? The Arsenal Man United games. They were fantastic.
Back in the day.
Is it Man U the only ones who have beat Arsenal as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was Rashford scored now. Sure he did.
Probably.
It was early on in the season, wasn't it? It was early on in the season.
Arsenal had that goal disallowed for the foul on Fernandes when it wasn't a foul.
Yeah.
Like 30 yards out, he literally just fell over. Referee, they gave the goal, went to VAR, disallowed it, and then Rashford scored late on, or not late on, but he scored the winner. Sure of it.
Take your word for it. And the final one is Fulham versus Spurs. Liam, what you got for Fulham Spurs,
man? 2-1 Fulham.
Oh, 2-1 Fulham.
Yeah.
Crippy, you going the same?
Yeah, same. Yeah. No respect for Spurs. They're just, they annoy me so much.
Another one who should be in contention to get sacked is Conte, because they're terrible. They are.
They just promise so much and just always fail, don't they? You can always back them to fail. Will they challenge the title? No. They'll finish third in a 2-horse race. Like, they're an annoying team, Tottenham, because they got...
No disrespect to them. They only just beat us at home. They lost to Leeds at home. They lost to Newcastle at home. Like, that should be, like, all three. That should be win the games. Yeah. They should win all those games at home.
So they're scared to succeed, it feels like, with them. They're scared to take that next step.
I just understand, like, they signed Richarlison for 50 million, and okay, he was injured, but why is he sat on the bench? Like, I know I've got a bit of a bias towards him.
Might be a little bit of interest in that one.
Yeah, fuck off, Jack. You needed 98 minutes, mate. Shut up. So, Andy, have you given yours yet?
After all that, I actually wrote it down as well. Spurs to win 2-1. I've gone for Tottenham to win.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got the same bit. I was the same. But now I'm not so confident. Them two just come.
It's in London. It's in London, so there's no real,
one of those derbies.
Yeah, it's not a massive place, not far to go.
I don't know what that means.
Right, V?
Yeah, that's what it means.
Go on, Kev.
Yeah, it probably is just flicking it back at Jack. Fuck off. Right, that's all the predictions done. Has anyone got anything they want to add? Any more digs at Stan Collymore while we're on the subject?
I could bring up another VAR decision.
Oh, do go on. We do like a bit of VAR controversy.
See if Crippy agrees. Should Rodrigo have had a penalty?
I'll have to watch it back.
We did. That was the free kick. What Holland did. What Holland did against Argentina in the World Cup, where he played it across the floor, and Weghorst scored late on. We tried the same thing, and Rodrigo got pulled down by Mings. I think it was
it a
Mings.
penalty, Andy? Was it a penalty?
For me, it was a bit soft. But
There we go,
the very next day, when Brentford got a penalty for exactly the same thing, which went to VAR and they checked it and they gave a penalty for exactly the same thing.
Did they award a penalty at the time, or did VAR give it?
No, nothing. It was just given as a goal kick, and then they checked it and said
in the Brentford one. In the Brentford
oh,
one,
the Brentford one. The ref gave a penalty, then they checked it and then said it was a penalty. Yeah,
that's the issue. They're not going to go against them, are they? Like if you didn't give a penalty, I don't.
But
Think
if you watch the replay back from the other angle, Tony grabbed hold of their player's arm and tucked it in, and then fell over.
So right, wouldn't bet against them.
So we were 1-0 down. Then if we got given that score, that's a different game, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know.
But it's defenders always get the benefit of the doubt, don't they, with holding in the box. That's why they do it, because it's not getting flagged up enough on to them to stop doing it. And until every decision is given, they'll keep on doing it.
Yeah.
So there is obviously contact and dragging.
Yeah, it's one of them ones where if it's for you, you want it given, but if it's against you, you don't want it given. It's one of them ones, but you know, it's just when you see the next day the penalty's given and you think, well, that's just exactly the same as I think.
Yeah.
Where's the consistency?
Yeah, consistency again.
Yep.
But yeah, that's my rant over.
Always go out on a high.
VAR again.
It's the VAR podcast. We all know it is. Right then. Thanks everyone for watching. Cheers for Jack and Kevin for getting involved in the comments, and we will see you next week. Are you back next week, Andy?
Yeah, should be all right for next week. Yeah.
Good man.
Perfect.
We'll be back at 8 o'clock next Tuesday. In the meantime, click on the likey buttons and sharey things, and we'll see you then. Cheers.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers, guys.